You know, there are times to talk and times to fight, but sometimes you just gotta run!
Hi, guys.
Hi, good to see you.
Hello.
Hey, good to see you again.
Good to see you. I watched this season in a night. It's so good.
Yay!
Oh my God, amazing.
Awesome.
Can you talk to me about exploring Keyleth's rage this season in a way we really haven't seen before?
Oh, no one's asked me this yet. I'm so excited. It was such an important facet to her that was kind of subtle in the campaign, but it was there. I've talked before on panels, there was a very strong moment where I almost took a point in Barbarian because she was just dealing with a lot of anger, and it's, that was very much a result of just that frustration that you feel when you don't really have full control over your life and the situations that you're in. And it definitely manifests deeply in this one, everything between her and her relationships, not just with Vax, but also the rest of Vox Machina, her kind of being jettisoned forward on this path of leadership that she, is still coping with and dealing with. And then, of course, just everything else with the world around her. So, yeah, it was, I'm really glad that we were able to give some credence to that. And, even I remember in the writer's room wanting to have like moments with her and Grog, even like subtle ones where he could kind of like recognize the anger within her. So, and yeah, with all luck, maybe we can continue to explore that. Fingers crossed.
I love it. I love Keyleth's arc, and that was one of my favorite aspects that you guys were able to focus on this season. Ashley, I love Pike's journey this season, especially how it kind of taps into the themes of doubt and finding strength within yourself. Can you talk about her journey with that, with the Everlight, and how it may be a little bit different than what fans expect based on the campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. I think had I been at the table more, I think we maybe would have seen a little bit more of this with Pike's journey. So it's nice that we get to explore that in the animated series. And I think so much of, being a cleric and a cleric of the Everlight, and so much of that journey is sort of finding, I don't know, I feel like for Pike, she's kind of like the mom of the group. Yeah. She wants, because in the way that she wants to take care of everybody, and she wants everybody to be okay and be happy, and wants her family to be connected and together. And I think she's also is dealing with a lot of doubt in her faith and in herself. And because everything feels like it's falling apart the way that it is, and because the group is so fractured, I think she feels a lot of responsibility in not being able to bring everybody back together, and also the weight of the world that with everything that they're fighting. I mean, it's there's a lot on her shoulders that she's trying to figure out. And I think, in any faith, you're dealing with belief and challenge and doubt in yourself. And I'm glad that we get to explore that with her.
I loved seeing it, especially with the knowledge of the Everlight from Downfall. It was such a cool inside look into that with like the journey this season. I thought that was
man. What's funny? I haven't seen the season 3 yet since Downfall. So I'm now thinking of that. That's going to be fun to give it another rewatch, because I love this. This is my favorite season so far of Vox Machina.
I agree, but each season's better. So I think everything.
Yeah.
Liam, I love that in the end of season 2, we see Vax kind of accept his place as the champion of the Raven Queen. How are we going to see that play into his motivations, not only as like an adventurer and potential hero, but with his interpersonal relationships, especially with Keyleth and Vox Machina?
Yeah, it weighs very heavily on Keyleth and factors. It is one of multiple factors that leads to the sort of anger that she struggles with, because it's such a. It seems like such like life. It seems like such a sideswipe from the universe, and it's a large part of what the two of them together struggle with, which is he is trying to lean into and carry the burden that he's found, and that's often in direct conflict with the woman he loves, desires and hopes in the world. So it's trying to thread the needle of his sort of evolving faith with his feelings for the person he loves the most in the world. Good thing he has high decks.
It's so great. And then Travis, I love the episode you co-wrote. I think that might be my favorite episode of the season. And there's a certain thing about it that I'm not going to say, which is part of why I was so excited about it. Can you talk to me about what motivated you guys to bring in Vox Machina visiting Hell earlier than we saw in the original campaign, and kind of tease how it plays into this larger story of Exandria that you talked about at San Diego?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Marisha hinted at it earlier in one of our other talks. As we were playing Exu Calamity in the moment, and as Brennan Lee Mulligan was adding his own personal brand of clay to the world of Exandria and the history, really, there were just some things that started to spark in my head about, wait a minute, this could affect the way that these monumental moments happen, right? A mortal rising to become a god, how the deities interact with the material realm, and having that lore there as something that you can then sort of pull at and tease and sort of manipulate. It helps with characters that were a little bit thinner. Again, Ashley being in New York for her show while we were doing Vox Machina, and it just kind of fit together in a really interesting way. And I think fans will absolutely love seeing parts of Calamity, not just parts of, but characters from, come in and have this direct interaction with characters that really started us off, this whole crazy Critical Role train to begin with. So, in writing that, we saw that the vestige was gathered, I think, in a way that was simply focused on getting the vestige. But also we had an opportunity to split the team and get a little bit more of a character focus to happen in those episodes, a little A team, B team going on. And so we realized that by dividing them and sort of truncating those two moments together, we could keep things like our large kaiju fight, we could get the vestige that we needed, and we could also add Pike as a very essential cog in this machine, and an engine that's going to, really kind of tear through the characters a little bit and tee up where this story could go in future seasons if we're lucky enough to get them. So we're very happy with the result. I think Ashley absolutely smashed it in those performances. Luis absolutely dominated as well. And I think that's just a taste of what we're capable of doing in these shows, Vox Machina and Mighty Nine as well, and what Critical Role in the world of Exandria has to offer as a continued animated property. So we're stoked.
I lost my mind. Calamity is one of my favorite things you guys have ever done. Like, it's so good. So it was so fun seeing it get to come into play.
It was another level for sure.
Yeah. And then Marisha, I think one of the things that I find really interesting about Keyleth's journey is how kind of being a part of Vox Machina helps strengthen her for the Aramente, but at the same time, how her steps in the Aramente help her become a stronger voice in Vox Machina. Can you talk about kind of the interplay between these two pieces of her life?
Oh, wow. That is an excellent question. Yeah, I mean, and we've already talked about her rage, but I think there's also been there's a certain amount of stalling that Keyleth has been doing. Same situation in the campaign, in really embracing her path with being a leader within the Ashari. And it's really just about timing, right? And it was the same in the campaign, and it really made sense to approach that here in season 3, where she kind of needed that outside influence from her father, from the other Ashari leaders, from her, the community that she was born into, I think, to kind of get her over this hurdle and into the next chapter of her destiny and what she was, always kind of meant to be. So I think it was good, as much strength that Keyleth pulls from Vox Machina and they pull from each other. I think it was very impactful to show that strength can come from her heritage and, her born and blood family as well.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to me today. I always love talking to you guys. This season is phenomenal. I can't wait for more people to see it.
Great questions,
Yay,
Caitlin.
thanks,
Same.
I didn't
Caitlin.
hear you say that. Thanks, Caitlin.
Yeah.
It's okay to be scared. We can face anything if we're together.